Spencer Lazara, MMAinterviews.tv, alongside Joe Lauzon. Obviously excited for your fight in a couple of months, but on the agenda this week is your brother's fight, World Series of Fighting.
Got to take care of business first. First up is Dan. I've been in the gym a whole bunch. We've got a storied history about us not getting along too well in the past and things like that. But we've been getting along great. Probably the last 8-10 months or so. And I'm pumped to see what he's going to do on Friday night.
You obviously have your new facility out there, so I guess that's been home base for this camp for him and you.
Yeah, we moved my gym back in December, so it was a little bit rough. For Joe Proctor had a fight last December, I had a fight last December. A little bit rough, but everything's just settled down now, and we move over to. We were in Bridgewater, Mass. Now we're in Easton, Mass. So everything is nice and settled down and getting the way we want it. So it's nice.
We were just talking with Danny about his growth and from being a young man in the UFC to now, and obviously matured. And have you been an influence in that, and how have you seen that? Obviously as well, just watching him grow.
I would like to say I was an influence in his maturity, but couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. I really feel like early on he would not do things knowing they were right because I suggested it. So I feel like the big change happened when I stopped trying to be his coach. I stopped trying to mess with that. I just tried to be his brother, be his friend. And if I disagree with something, I just let him do it and let him figure it out for himself. And everything came full circle. And and now we're mostly on the same page.
Talk about his fight with John Gunderson.
It's going to be a good fight. Danny seems to think they're going to be pretty well rounded and pretty even. I think Danny's going to have a big advantage on the feet with his boxing. I think Gunderson's mainly known for jiu-jitsu and having good ground game, decent wrestling, things like that. But Danny's just as good on the ground. I think it's really going to do a huge difference in the stand-up. I've boxed, sparred, fought with really good guys, really good stand-up, and Danny's the best.
Nice. Well, obviously you have a big fight coming up in August, again at your home town there. You said that on record that it'd be tough for you to outdo your last performance there. Talk about that.
So I'm fighting Michael Johnson August 17th, UFC on Fox. I get to fight at home in Boston, which is awesome. And it's going to be tough to outdo. I got to fight Gabe Rudiger in Boston. And it was, I smashed him. It was a great fight. There was a lot of, history and bad blood and all that kind of stuff going on. It was the first time the UFC had come to Boston, all kinds of first things and awesomeness about the fight. So now they're coming back and, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to train really, really hard. I'm going to try to make this fight just as memorable as the last one.
What did you think about Tim Tebow going over to the Patriots?
It's going to be interesting. I think some people kind of think that, he might be, giving Brady a few plays off and things like that. I think we're going to start to see, offense. We have two quarterbacks on the field at the same time. They're going to be, dumping off to each other. And, Belichick is just a man. I'm really interested to see, what kind of craziness he's going to pull out.
Put him at fullback.
Yeah, maybe. I think that, Tebow's a good utility player. He can do anything, so put him in the backfield, have him be a tight end, wide receiver, whatever you want to do. I feel like he can fill that gap wherever you need him on any play, any kind of weird formation, weird play. I think we're going to see all kinds of new stuff.
You and Dana have a very good relationship, it seems like. Is the Patriots, being fans of the Patriots, something that really brings you guys together?
Dana's always been super cool with me. People think that, I always talk well about Dana because he's my boss, and it's not the case, I think Dana's the man. Obviously, they've been awesome to me with fight of the nights and bonuses and things like that. But Dana is just a super good dude. It doesn't hurt that we're both from Boston. It doesn't hurt that we're both Patriots fans and Red Sox fans and, the whole deal.
Your cut obviously is pretty much 100% here. The big cut from the last one. Talk about that process.
It's getting there. So I had a whole bunch of stitches from a fight 6 months ago now with Jim Miller, and I'm still getting Grafton done. So they basically take it's almost like a medieval torture, where they take a metal tool and they scrape it all the scar tissue and they break it all down. And, I put up some video blogs about it and, things like that. But it's getting better. I've done a whole bunch of sparring, for Danny get ready for this fight, we've done a whole bunch of rounds, things like that. And he's blasting me with some really good shots, and it's been okay. It hasn't really swelled up. It hasn't, I don't think it'll be an issue. I think an elbow opened it up to begin with. So if an elbow hits it, it could definitely split. But I'm not sweating it more than anything, than normal. Going
back to your fight, I guess, against Michael Johnson there, it seems like in some ways a step down in competition for you, maybe. Do you feel that way, or do you feel like he's a game opponent and ready to just get in there and do your thing?
I think he's a super tough opponent. He's coming off a couple losses, but I'm coming off a loss too. UFC usually likes to match guys up like that. You know, but he lost on the Ultimate Fighter finale. You know, he's fought a couple tough guys, beat a couple tough guys since then. You know, you know, he's a lefty again, which I struggled a little bit with Jim Miller being a lefty, so I'd like to go and get that one back. And you know, but I'm looking forward to it. You know, he's always in good shape. He, you know, even fights that, you know, he lost or won, he's taken a lot of damage and still been fighting strong and still pushing cardio and things like that. So I think it's a good opportunity for me to, you know, go out there and kind of, you know, try to overwhelm him and showcase myself a little bit, you know. But he's super tough. If I slip up for half a second, I'm in trouble.
Definitely. I mean, anybody in the UFC at this level, don't mean down anybody, man.
Yeah.
And Michael's a great athlete, no doubt about
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why. I mean, people like to think that there's like this huge gap, you know, between fighters. And a lot of times it's way closer than you know, people let on, and people seem to think.
And
so,
it proved that, of course, all the guys coming over from Strikeforce. I mean, proves that, you know, tenfold.
Absolutely. You know, and all the upsets. You know, there's so many times where you think that one guy's going to kill the other guy, and then there's a crazy upset. You know, and everyone's like, oh, I can't believe it. It's like everyone's a lot closer than people think.
Pretty cool to be on that card for you, though. Like we said, hometown, huge card. We were talking about the card. I mean, just massive.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best cards ever. You know, it's on the new Fox Sports one, which is awesome. I think the main card has like 6 fights, and there's like a prelim card with like 4 or 6 fights too. It's going to be like 5 or 6 hours of straight programming, all on Fox Sports 1, all on the same channel. You know, so it's pretty unreal. You know, the whole card all together, top to bottom.
Definitely excited to see it. Anything else you'd like to say, Joe?
No, you know, just you know, check out my Twitter, twitter.com/JoeLauzon. Thanks to all the sponsors. And, you know, just I appreciate everyone, you know, tuning in and watching the fights.
And definitely subscribe to this man's YouTube channel. He's got a cool channel, puts up some really cool video blogs, and a guy like me who does a lot of video definitely likes to watch that kind of stuff. So check that out. Spencer Lazara, Joe Lauzon. Thanks for watching MMAinterviews.tv.
Hey, this is Ariane Celeste.
This is Uriah Faber.
This is Glover Teixeira.
This is Dan Henderson. You're watching MMA Interviews.
MMA Interviews.
You're watching MMAinterviews.tv.